case you didn't know, children should probably not be listening to this podcast.
So if it's a comic book movie, oh, that's in our wheelhouse. Yeah, we're going to have a conversation about that for sure.
It's a big thing right now. It will. And especially when it comes out, you'll be like, you know what? I was part of that. You and me both. I like to be butt ass naked.
Hell, I'm all about it.
Did I turn you on right now? Get off me. You sick bastard.
Are you picking up what I'm throwing down?
That means I gotta suck dick. I ain't doing it. Because it's full of semen. Those chicken nuggets are delicious, bro. What, a sleepover?
And welcome to another episode of the Squadcast podcast. I'm your host, Wane Tango.
And I'm Patrick, the fat one, and the Drimity boy. All in one.
Drimity fat one?
Yes. I am like one squishy blunt all rolled up.
Okay, so is this your new moniker? Because you've done this 2 episodes now?
Sure. Well, I mean, I've been Drimity boy since Sumu Squad days. You know that. That's an old thing. But the fat one, look at me. Of course I am the fat one.
The fatone?
I am the fat one, though.
The fatone?
I'm not just a fat one. I'm the fat one.
The fat one. El fatone.
That's a new Twitter right there. Right there.
You're making me Twitter paid over here. I guess. I don't know. I think you need to give yourself a new nickname every show.
Okay.
Actually, can I give you your nickname every show?
No.
Please?
No.
Can I can't do
that.
I
have no creative control in that if you do that.
No.
Do I get to veto the new name?
Absolutely.
Okay, go.
You don't have to accept the nickname.
Okay, go.
But I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, go.
All right, so we're going to start again?
I mean, sure.
You put me on the spot a little bit.
Well, you wanted to do it.
Yeah, I'm asking permission for this.
Okay, do you want to wait till the next episode to do this?
Yes.
Okay.
Or I'll just randomly throw it at you in the middle of the show.
All right, guys, so we'll see you next time. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, so today we're picking up where we left off last time. This is a 2-part episode. In the studio with us, the Ostrich Primer. Yay. Say hello, Ostrich Primer.
Hello, America and people. Oh.
Good morning,
Vietnam. So introduce yourself, fellas.
Hey, I'm Dark Charlie. I play the bass.
I play guitar. Stringy paddle.
Ah, the stringy paddle.
Can someone just describe this stringy paddle to me?
It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a big paddle with strings.
You know, if somebody asks you in the future what you do in the band, you can say, I play the semi-automatic funk gun.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's what I used to tell people.
That's a good one.
It's like, what are you doing there? I was like, oh, I'm just tuning up my semi-automatic funk gun. It's nice. Special.
I was going to make some sound effects, but I can't do that with my mouth because I'm not a semi-automatic super special funk gun. Nope. I'm not that.
Not that?
I'm not that.
None of that. Okay, so all right, we talked about some video games and stuff on the last show, and we talked about, the band, obviously, and some things where you come from. And we took a short break, and we started talking about other nerdy things. And then while I was out there, I guess I almost dropped a bomb, and everybody was like, no. Stop that. Let's go get in front of some microphones and talk about this some more.
Oh, yes. I'm very eager to pick this back up.
Yes, deliver this baby right here.
Yeah, so, all right.
Would you say that we've barely cracked the ostrich egg?
Ooh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's stir it up and make an omelet.
Making some ostriches up in here.
Ostriches. Okay, so...
Ostrichisms.
All right, fan theories. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, especially if the fan theory is good. So there's a new one about The Force Awakens. Of course, everybody's talked about this. Who is Rey? What's her lineage? Because everybody wants to know who the fuck she's related to. I have my favorite fan theory, but I've heard a new one. My favorite fan theory, which I hope this turns out to be correct, is that she's a Kenobi.
Ooh.
That's
Kenobi.
That's my favorite theory.
Now, you called that, didn't you?
Mm.
Yes.
A couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Wow, I never actually thought about her being a Kenobi and not a Skywalker.
I didn't either. He dropped it, and I was like, oh,
My wife and I were actually talking about that before. Just from the Clone Wars show, he had a girlfriend there that was a secret. Yeah.
She's there.
Yeah.
So we know that he's had love affairs before, unlike Anakin. But just not as in-depth. But here's the thing. You put him on Tatooine for 15 years in a mud hut. He's going off and having adventures and...
Shit, Ben Kenobi's a player.
Oh, right. He's
Damn.
not just going to hang out in the hut.
Look at that motherfucking
watching
hair.
Luke from afar.
Look at that motherfucking
some
beard.
Old pedophile.
This motherfucker swinging that lightsaber dick.
Right.
Okay, so here's the new fan theory. All right, and this one I'm really kind of sinking my teeth into. Okay, so everybody wants to think that she's a Skywalker, and there's a whole lot of reasons why she could be.
Yeah.
All right. So what if she's not a new Skywalker? What if she's an old Skywalker?
What do you mean?
What if she's Anakin cloned? Dun dun dun. Okay, now think about this.
Honest.
I mean, they do cloning.
Yeah.
Here's where this is the real tweak on it. What if she's not having Force images, but what if she's just remembering things hard-coded into your DNA? Which would explain why she learned the Force.
All of a sudden just picked it up?
Yeah. It's not that she's figuring it out. She's remembering.
Also would explain the voices and the things that she heard in her head when she discovered the lightsaber.
Yeah, because she went through the entire length of the history.
I mean, she did, didn't she?
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I
That's interesting.
I might have just fucking came a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I thought if she is a Skywalker, they're doing it pretty heavy-handed. You know?
Right.
So maybe...
Because I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really love that movie.
No?
And I mean, I went through it extensively with you. I didn't like it as much. It was pretty.
The more I watch it, the more I like
feel.
it.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
when it first opened up, and I was in the theater with my big bucket of popcorn and
Just in there with your
I ate so much popcorn, my fucking mouth dried out.
Yep.
But I was like, I can't get up and get more drink because I want to watch it.
Man, see, it was really, really cool. As a band, we'll go see movies. We went and saw the new Evil Dead, and Deadpool, and Star Wars. I loved it. I thought it was cool. It reminded me a lot of New Hope.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they had a throwback to everything. You know, if you was patient enough and looking at the details enough. But with that being said, I really enjoyed the movie. I mean, I've probably watched it, I want to say like 30 or 40 times now, somewhere in the neighborhood. Yeah, well, once it come out on Blu-ray.
I watched it once.
At the theater?
Yeah.
You need to watch it a couple more times.
But
Yeah,
I was just so
I was
so unimpressed when I watched it the first time. I was just like,
I catch something every time I watch it to see something I didn't see last
There
time.
really is.
I was very happy just because I was afraid it was going to be ruined by Disney.
and it wasn't.
And I skipped. I didn't see any of the previews. I stayed off social media. Had no idea what I was getting into when I went and saw it, and I was so relieved when it was over. I was like, thank you for not completely fucking this up.
now when you say you skipped the trailers, did you say so you never watched any of the trailers at all? You didn't watch even the first one?
If one started coming on television, I would change the channel.
Wow. That's dedication, because I mean, I was really excited to at least watch, that one, because that
was more hardcore than I was.
Yeah, because I mean, outside of that, I stayed off of any kind of like spoilers, like what you need to know watching this movie. Fuck that, I don't want to know that.
The only things that I watched was the stuff that come out on StarWars.com.
Right,
and that was it.
Nope,
Because
none of that.
I wanted to know only as much as they wanted me to know before I watched
everything. Every shot that you saw was brand new to you, right?
Pretty much. The one thing that I did see, which pissed me off kind of, was Han and Chewie coming in, and Tom goes, we're home.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw that on a clip of something, and I was like, damn it.
Yeah, I cried.
I did too.
It
My
was
fiance-
still, even though I'd seen that little clip before, it was still good at the theater. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, right.
My fiance right now is still angry at Disney for what happened in the movie.
Well,
See, I don't want to say what happened because I don't know. I guess at this point it should be canon.
Here's the
People
thing:
should know,
we have already spilled the beans.
like we were
on
talking
this show.
about. Yeah.
In fact, what was it like? 2 days afterwards?
Yeah. No, I thought we came and shot the next day.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
As soon as we sat down, we're like, okay, if you haven't watched this movie, do not listen to this podcast. Stop right now. And we can do that now.
So I can just go ahead and say Han dies.
I got it out just in time.
Yeah.
Just in time.
Yeah.
When Han Solo died, my fiance, who loves Star Wars and is just as big a geek as all of us, absolutely right now is on a freeze. Like, she don't know if she can go watch any trailers or the Rogue One, which I'm excited for.
I think that,
By the way, watch that.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
I got chills.
I think
I
that
haven't
was
watched it.
more
I don't want to watch it. I'm just going to go
Harrison's
see
call,
it.
though.
Well, all right, she's going to be safe there because nobody from the main storyline is going to be in it.
Yeah, this is a prequel, isn't it? Like a
No.
prequel
I
of the
think it's
prequel?
just a
Standalone.
side story, right?
It's a standalone.
Yeah,
The
it's a
story's
standalone.
set in the same universe.
I thought
Okay,
this
so-
was the story of the people who got the original plans for the Death Star that
Yes.
was given to
Leia.
The Rebel. Yeah, Leia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything that led up to
Many Bothans died for this.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
this
that
is
was
the
the
story
line.
of them.
Yeah, this is everything that led up to A New Hope.
See, that's cool. So it's kind of a prequel-ish, same time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a one-off. You're not going to see these characters show up again in the
See,
main
Disney
canon.
released a timeline. They released a timeline of all the movies, like, of course, the 7, 8, 9, but they showed Rogue One and then the sequel when it's coming out. And
There's going to be a Bounty Hunters one, isn't there?
Well, there's
Something like
3
that.
movies that's up in the air after this. Of course, we got the obvious Episode 8, Episode 9.
Yeah.
All right, those are obvious. Those are definitely coming. And then we got Rogue One. The ones that we're not sure is what's going to be the next 2, because there's definitely going to be 2 more movies made. They're just not sure which ones is not going to get made, because there's a Han Solo standalone.
I heard about that.
There's
like
a
the
Boba-
origin story.
Yeah,
I heard there was one for Kenobi, too.
there's a Boba Fett standalone, and then there's a Kenobi standalone. I hope they drop Boba for Kenobi.
I think they should just make them all.
Or they should just make all of them.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Or the Han and Boba one could kind of intertwine,
It really could.
you know, because they obviously had a history together.
I would even be fine with that being a very long movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll be
If
honest.
it was
like,
done, if it was
Boba's in
done
the
well,
second half or something, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
The first half's dedicated to Han.
I've
and
never
the
thought
backstory.
Boba was all that interesting. Like,
Oh.
he's got cool
Yeah,
looking armor.
that's me. Everyone talks about Boba Fett. It's cool, but
Yeah, I get it. Your backpack's got jets.
yeah.
Got a really nice helmet.
But
yes,
I never thought he was the coolest one on there. By far. That's Han Solo.
he was the
Everybody
coolest
knows
looking toy when the little Kenner toys came out.
that. No, that's true.
Fucking
Got
Boba
it.
Fett was prime.
Nailed it.
He was a sharp figure.
And Dark Charlie sticks the dismount.
See, I got a question for you guys. It's not Star Wars about a movie coming out, but I just wanted everyone's opinion on
Okay.
because it divides people. Ghostbusters
Ooh.
this summer coming out.
I can hates it, want to see it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to see it. Don't get me wrong.
I have been a
But
fan
you're not
of
happy about
Ghostbusters
it.
since
No,
I
I'm
was
not.
Well, I'm in the same boat with Tango then, because I'm gonna go see it with Clay. Of course, it's a Ghostbusters movie. I have to see it at the theater.
So you
but
do wanna see
I'm
it.
not
I
happy
do.
about it,
I do.
We should all do
I,
this.
I'm down. I think
and
we
I'm
should all go
I'm
see
also
it.
not
I do a
happy hearing they're
podcast.
gonna do one with Channing Tatum.
Yeah, he's
that
Janine
also
role.
makes me sad.
Well, see, I've been a hardcore Ghostbusters fan since I was a kid. Before I discovered Kiss and heavy metal and my wiener and everything else.
Right.
I love Ghostbusters first.
Which
And
did you
had all-
discover first, Ghostbusters or your wiener?
Ghostbusters. But
Then my wiener.
I
thought-
discovered them simultaneously because of the character named Peter. Because I lost my figure, and this is a true story. I lost my figure, and I was trying to find it, and I was like, here, Peter, Peter, Peter. Come here, Peter. Where are you, Peter? My grandma was like, you shut up. You can't say that. What are you looking for? My Peter. I've lost my Peter.
that's Dr. Venkman.
Carry on.
But I thought the video game that came out for PS4 and PS3 and PS2 and all them.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Several PSs.
Yeah, several. But I thought that was a good continuation. They had the whole cast come back. It picked up right from Ghostbusters 2, and I thought that was an excellent story. I was a little bit
Didn't
put
Dan
off.
Aykroyd say that was the closest to a Ghostbusters 3 that you were gonna get?
Yeah, because they had everybody, all 4 of them, plus some of the side characters, like Bill Murray's brother played the mayor. But I was a little bit put off at first when they said they're going to have a brand new movie, kind of a reboot with
It's not kind of. It is a reboot.
with all 4 female cast. I have nothing against women being Ghostbusters at all, but I thought, are they is one going to be named Stance?
Right.
Are they completely redoing it?
Yeah, see, that's what I was hung up on first as well. I was concerned if, are we going to get a Venkman and it's just like, what, his daughter or something? What's happening here? And
See, I would have preferred that.
I would've been okay with
I've
that,
heard
too.
this is a continuation, but
passing
like
of
a
the
reboot,
torch
but a
thing.
continuation.
Nope, not a continuation. They are not acknowledging that the Ghostbusters existed in this universe prior.
yeah, I don't
Really?
think so. Yeah, I
Yes.
don't think they are. Yeah, but Slimer is definitely in the trailer.
100%.
I don't know. I'm going to see it. I'm ready to watch
And
it.
that's
I
my
have to.
that's my problem with it is that this is a 100% reset button.
Wow.
Well, now-
We're starting over again. It's not that I have an issue with women being Ghostbusters. Okay, I got no problems with that whatsoever.
Yeah, me neither.
My thing is I'm like everybody else. I want another Ghostbuster movie.
We all do.
I desperately
Right.
want another Ghostbuster movie, and I have since the early '90s,
Right.
whenever the last one came out.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, are they giving me a new Ghostbusters movie, or are they just rehashing?
Repackaging it.
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, if you listen to the jokes on it, what few jokes is in the trailer, they are okay, but and
I think they're
funny,
terrible.
but they're
The jokes. Anyway.
they're referencing things from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, so it's kind of like they're just
This is
recycling their jokes.
there's nothing new going on in this movie.
Well, and we'll
Trailer wise, I mean, this is just me taking this from the trailer. If they're giving us the best of the movie in the trailer, which generally they do,
Mhm.
and this is the best they have to offer, I'm disappointed in the trailer.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I like better than a good movie is a bad movie.
Yeah.
Any day.
Only if the movie is so bad that it comes back around and becomes good again.
I see in the last few years, man, all of my favorite franchises have been rebooted. Evil Dead, Poltergeist.
Now, The Evil Dead was good.
Yes, it was. It was awesome. I like Poltergeist.
I
It
miss
was
the
okay.
humor. I really miss the comedy
Yeah.
in The Evil Dead.
I'm with you there, but it's still, if you judge that movie on the movie itself, on its own merits, it's a good movie.
That one
Like,
didn't
okay.
seem like a reboot to me. It seemed more like a continuation. Like 20 years down the road, they happened upon this fucked up cabin where
Right.
some shit had happened
Like
20
they
years
did
ago. You
The
know?
Green Hornet. The Green Hornet, they picked up the comic book. It was an old comic book years ago. I thought that was really cool. Dark Shadows, I thought was really cool when they did that not too long ago.
Nah.
But these are all good movies that were awesome on their
That's
own.
debatable.
Dark Shadows?
Uh,
I'll slap you.
meh.
Slap you, boy.
Don't be talking about my Dark Shadows now.
I'll just say meh.
That's an Ostrich Primer saying every time we veto something. It's meh.
Meh. Usually do the little hand motion. Meh.
Do you guys have a an absolute least favorite superhero? Like one that you would just punch in the face? if you saw?
Wait. Qualify that. Let's put this in
that's
the movie
broad.
realm.
That's a
Yeah.
good
Yeah,
one.
put it in the movie realm.
What do you mean?
In the movie realm.
In the movie realm?
All right, if we go just comic book character,
Yeah.
all right, there's a million of them,
Yeah, I know. I'm saying.
and they all suck in their own right.
Well, sure. I'm saying for you specifically, like the one that you just like, oh, fuck, that is the dumbest thing
Okay.
on the planet. I mean, you can go in the movie realm if you'd like.
That's hard.
You
Well,
can
if
go
I went
both.
movie realm, I'd have to say Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider.
Really?
There you go.
'Cause I love Ghost
see how much
Rider.
easier that was?
I love Ghost Rider and Nick
Yeah.
Cage.
Just as a comic book character, Superman is such a
you.
lame character. I mean,
I fucking hate Superman.
wow, he's got every power in the goddamn world. Check him out. He's super.
Right?
Well, I mean, they tell you what you're gonna get right on the cover.
It's just, I don't know. They have so many more complex characters, and I really hate the fact that when he puts on glasses, nobody knows who he is. Like earlier when Patrick took his glasses off, and I thought it was a completely different dude asking me questions. It's like, who the fuck is this guy?
I would say
He got really
Reverse
confused.
Flash.
Reverse Flash.
Reverse Flash pisses me off. It's not the fact that he has. the same-
Leopard Thorn?
I just think
Is
it's
that
a
where you
lazy
show somebody
name.
your butthole?
I mean, he couldn't come up with something. I'm Reverse Flash. That's lazy. It always pissed me off.
And he's the yellow one,
Yep.
correct?
Yeah.
Is that what his actual name is?
Reverse
See, because
Flash.
I've always referred to him as Reverse Flash, and I was like, I can never remember his name. I think it's whatever. He's the Bizarro Flash.
They now
Reverse
reference
Flash.
him as a Reverse Flash
That is stupid.
on TV, and
That
it's like
is
it
really-
sounds dumb. Like I'm Reverse Flash. It just
Yeah, I didn't
sounds,
care for the name.
Yeah, it sounds dumb.
I do like the Flash show, though.
I walk backwards
watch it.
really quickly.
You know what I actually am annoyed
The
with?
backwards
And
man,
I'm
the
gonna see
backwards
what you
man.
guys think.
What's
I can
that?
walk backwards fast as you
Is
can.
okay. Every single time we have a new Batman movie, every time I don't care if it's Michael Keaton, Clooney, Val Kilmer, anybody. Now we got Ben Affleck.
Which I like.
They always just rehash the fact that his parents were killed every single time. You hear
Well, that's
about
a
it,
big
they
part
reference
of-
it.
All right,
Yeah.
I know it's a big part of, but it shouldn't at this point. It'd be understood knowledge and.
Yeah, I put it in with the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah,
we
we-
don't need to see his origin story. But I will say this, Batman versus Superman, they did do the origin story in the opening credit sequence. It was tastefully done and not overdrawn, and
it tied in too to the plot.
It
made
tied
sense.
in to the plot in the worst way possible.
Right.
But they didn't take the whole movie showing how
It
he
was still
became
part of
Batman.
the opening sequence.
Right.
You're my best friend, Superman.
Oh my God.
I've got a Martha and you've got a
Remember,
Martha.
they haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet.
Oh my God.
We're going next week to see
Yeah,
it.
we actually, before you guys got here, me and him had to sit down and talk about it again for the second time. Because I was like, okay, now that I've sat and thought about it for more than a couple of days versus a couple of hours, I have more thoughts. And me and him had to sit and talk about it. And there's...
Well, it had to be a pretty good movie then if you're still thinking about it.
It was good.
Days
and
later.
I liked it, but there are parts that I wanted to punch.
Punch?
Just out of the movie.
There's a lot.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to punch some of the parts of the movie
It's a
out.
long movie. Okay. Here's my stamp of approval, if there is one. Ben Affleck done an amazing job as Batman.
Thank you. I've been saying that forever, that Ben Affleck is going to kill it as Batman.
I was not a supporter of Affleck as Batman.
I know. I actually
was
had that
not
argument
either.
with you once.
Day one, I was like, yes, 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 let's see this. I think he can pull it off. He deserves a shot to do it again. Another superhero.
I agree.
So,
And I'll give credit absolutely where credit's due.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck done a good job as Batman. He
Yeah.
also done a good job as Bruce Wayne.
Yep.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that because I was nervous about
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
Ben
I've
Affleck
been on
being
board
Batman.
since day one with Affleck as Batman. I
Yeah,
really have been.
me and Clay have had several arguments back and forth about it.
I hope that they make another movie with him and they make emphasis on his more gadgety side because, I mean, you got a little taste in it and it was so good. I loved his grappling hook stuff that he was doing.
You guys
He
heard that?
felt way more like Batman in this one.
It felt like an Arkham City game to me.
Yeah.
You guys heard that Suicide
Nice.
Squad's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we already know from the trailers that Batman is very much in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Is it the Affleck Batman?
I think so.
Because no one's mentioned anybody else playing Batman for that movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Affleck.
Is he in the trailers?
They
I
showed
saw
the
Batman
Batmobile.
hanging off a car.
And they showed the
that was going
Batmobile
around a
once.
corner. You could see his cape and his cowl. And that's all I saw.
That may be the most that he's in the movie to begin with.
Yeah, because it's really not about him at all.
No,
It's-
it's, but you can't have a movie with
Yeah,
brand
but he
new
operates
Joker
in the
and
same
Harley
universe. Yeah.
and all them, and not have Batman somewhere because almost all the Suicide Squad, with the exception of two, are all Batman bad guys. The other ones are just DC characters who are evil in their own right.
Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang. He was.
Yeah, I do
he
not
was a
remember
main-
Captain Boomerang
Yeah,
at
Captain
all.
Boomerang was a main villain of Green Arrow.
Yeah, he was basically DC's somewhat answer to Captain America. He threw a retractable weapon,
And then they had
and he's
that.
a captain. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
See, if we
Sorceress.
have a weak spot on this, it is lack of DC knowledge.
I know a little bit more than he does, but not a lot. But I really fucking love some DC shit.
I
do
love
love
DC,
DC.
but I only know a microcosm of
I
it.
plan on getting a Plastic Man tattoo. I
was
want to
ta-
get it on my leg wrapped around my other tattoos.
Yeah. I was listening to someone else's podcast a couple days ago, and they had mentioned that they thought that Plastic Man was the stupidest.
Oh,
It was like, I fucking hate Plastic Man.
I love
I
Plastic
don't know.
Man.
Howard the Duck's pretty bad.
Oh, man, Howard Duck's cool, man.
You mean badass?
How can you hate Howard the Duck?
that
He
was
had
a
sex with
surly-
Leah Thompson.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck was the first time I ever saw titties, so you can't take that away from
Yeah,
me.
the very first time you saw duck
The duck
titties.
titties.
I don't care. It was
Oh,
still
yeah.
titties.
Those were still boobs.
There were nipples, and they were furry.
Mm-hmm.
Feathery.
Furry?
Whatever.
They was downy.
They were velour
Yeah,
looking.
I believe downy is the term.
they looked supple.
You know, technically, Marvel did a comic book about Kiss. I guess that would be the superheroes of movie I want to see come out next. Is someone play Kiss in a superhero light for Marvel?
Well, if that's the case, then if we're including them,
Because they fought Doctor Doom too.
okay,
and won.
right. If that's the case, then my least favorite superhero would have been Paul Stanley.
Oh, I would have at least chosen Peter Criss. Paul Stanley at least had a cool laser
He shot a laser out of his star.
on his eye.
Oh man.
He shot lasers out of his eye on a star. Peter Criss just growled and was a jungle cat.
But that made sense.
Meow.
He kept everyone together.
No one wants to be Peter Criss. Not even Peter Criss wants
Not
to be
even
Peter
Peter
Criss.
Oh my god. All right. Dark, Charlie.
Yes.
I really have to think hard to say that out loud.
Yeah, you can call me whatever, man.
Okay. All right, whatever.
That's just the stage name.
Yes. So, stage name Dark Charlie. All right. This is something I do like to ask guests from time to time, and I do know that you're a big Batman fan.
I am.
All right. Movie universe-wise, what's your favorite Batman, and what's the worst? Because we have an ongoing argument, a long-standing one on this show about the best and the worst. Nobody can agree on either.
Oh, well, I was really a Christian Bale fan. I thought he pulled off Bruce Wayne and Batman very, very well. George Clooney was a horrible Bruce Wayne and a horrible Batman.
He wasn't the worst Batman.
He was horrible, though. He just shakes his head around too much when he talks.
He does.
I don't know. Val Kilmer did an okay job as Batman, was a horrible Bruce Wayne. Adam West just had the comedic thing going. He was more
But that
the
was
campy,
the times, though.
you
Right.
know.
That was when comic books were a little more.
Well, see, this is
Right,
this
he
is a
wasn't the
personal
gritty,
list. It doesn't have to
you
be
know.
correct. There's no right or wrong answer. This is how it is to you personally.
I
He's
think
still wrong
Clooney was probably my least favorite Batman.
All right, so you're going to say Bell best, Clooney worst.
Yes.
All right, what about you, Clay?
I'm kind of with him. I liked Michael Keaton as Batman, the original.
I did too.
I liked Christian Bale as both Batman and Bruce Wayne. I think Val Kilmer was the laziest Batman by far. It just
That's a
seemed
good
like
way to describe it.
That
now.
is.
he was the laziest Batman, but by far George Clooney to me is hands down the worst Bruce Wayne, worst Batman. The bat suit had nipples, but Batgirls didn't. What's up with that?
It did show a nice crotch shot of the Batgirl suit, though,
Yeah,
for some reason.
they had a lot of like bat camel toe shots in that movie.
Everybody
Bat
had
toe.
bat camel toe. Everybody.
But I don't know. They put nipples on the male suits, but not on the girls. And he was a terrible He's a good actor, acting terribly in a really bad Batman movie.
All right, so then the real question here, the real hot answer question here is which Bane did it better?
Oh, that by far the one in Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really like the black light Bane now.
Yeah, with the
Jamaican
push
Ross-
button
yeah,
rage there.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your best?
Best was Christian Bale.
Bell. And what's your worst?
Absolutely Clooney.
Clooney. So we got Bell and Clooney. Bell and
We're in
Clooney.
agreement.
All right, where did you land on that?
man, well, I think my answer changes now, though.
No.
No, it does, because seeing the new one, because you had asked me before, I had to.
No,
had the
this
opportunity.
doesn't count in this particular conversation.
Yeah,
because
we
they're not there
haven't
yet.
seen that one yet, so,
So that's not fair or relevant.
I didn't factor in the
Okay.
Affleck.
Okay. Well, if you were to, I liked Affleck's a lot. And I don't really like Keaton's as much. I know that everybody liked it, but I just hated, and it's not his fault, I just hated the fucking fact that he was so stiff.
He was
Yeah,
pretty stiff in that.
It was a very stoic
I
role.
couldn't get past it. I loved him as Bruce Wayne. I think in my personal opinion, I think he pulled off the Bruce Wayne the best. Because, I don't know, he was just a cocky shit, but he really, really leaned into that. That's not
Keaton
really me.
was the best Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he had the duality life, in my opinion. Like, he didn't really care about the Playboy billionaire stuff. He was really all about the vigilante.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Yeah, that was a really good line.
What's your
and-
worst?
Oh, Clooney.
Clooney.
Yeah, of course.
I'm the only one that doesn't think Clooney was the worst.
Even Clooney thinks Clooney was the worst.
Yeah.
He's admitted and
Yeah.
apologized for being the
Which one do you
worst
think was the
Batman
worst?
ever.
West?
No.
You think Val Kilmer?
Kilmer, you think Kilmer was the
by,
worst all around?
By leaps and bounds, Kilmer.
See,
He phoned it in on both sides.
see now,
He really
It
did.
was a very wooden performance from him,
I
say the
feel
least.
like-
you
Here's
know.
all right. I think Clooney could have been a good Batman.
That's what
and
I was
think
about
he
to
was
say.
a decent Bruce Wayne. His problem wasn't his acting chops. It was the steamy shit pile he was hired to work in.
yeah, the
Yeah.
director
I
of
mean,
that movie was just
It's not like
terrible.
he decided
That was
to
the
put nipples-
Schulmacher one, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a very Schulmacher movie.
Yeah, and that's the one that he has apologized for a million times,
Yeah.
and so has the lady who wrote it.
I wouldn't be upset if he got a chance to redo it, but I don't think that he'll ever get to do that,
And see now Kilmer,
especially with his age now.
if you could have switched Kilmer and Clooney, we would all had very different opinions about this. Because
if they would have been in the opposite movie.
Oh,
Kilmer
yeah.
had a decent movie.
Yeah, and he just
It was
a shit-
campy,
yeah.
but it was still within the reasonable terms.
That one
of campy.
started getting campy, but it wasn't as blown out as
You know
Batman
what's
and
sad is
Robin
I
was.
barely even remember the Kilmer movie. That's how bad it was. Who was the villain in that?
Two-Face and the Riddler.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
see,
right.
because Jim
Yeah.
Carrey was the
Great,
Riddler.
Yeah.
great casting
Yeah.
on that side.
Did you know that Tommy and Jim hated each other?
Really?
The whole time they were filming, they fucking hated each other.
Oh wow.
I couldn't
could
see
see
that.
that.
That's
Yeah.
how well they work.
More on Tommy's side, but
Yeah, I could totally
Yeah.
see that because he is a very straight-laced.
serious, and he thought that Jim was
Curmudgeon-y.
always such a dick, just always trying to make things funny.
Yeah, he was
you
probably
know?
slowing down production, hamming it up on things
bit.
and whatnot.
I was glad to see Tommy Lee Jones return to comic book movies in Captain America. When he
Yeah.
showed up as the general or whatever it was in Captain America, I was happy to see that. Working alongside
Yeah.
Howard Stark and all them.
I just like seeing Agent K wherever he's at.
Right? Hey, so how did you feel about Men in Black 3?
I loved it.
I loved it.
I have it on my
did too.
PlayStation. I watch it
Did
occasionally.
you weep when you found out the end?
I don't think I wept per se, but I was kind of like, oh.
No, man. I just lost it.
Oh.
I lost it.
You talking about the one
He-
with Josh Brolin, right?
When he actually gets
Yeah.
choked up when he's talking to the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
was
he-
a
well,
little
when
heart-wrenching
Will's
moment
watching
there.
from afar, when he finally finds out what the fuck's going on, oh man.
Yeah. And I thought Josh Brolin was fantastic as
Hell
Tommy
yeah.
Lee Jones.
It-
And
it-
he
it
had all
almost-
the mannerisms
Yeah,
down.
It almost seemed like he was, his child or something.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I really did.
Josh Brolin
love
has
that
done some
movie.
fantastic interviews where he's talked about it and about how he obsessed over watching several of his movies over and over again. Like he would wake up and put the movie on, eat breakfast. He'd walk around with an iPad just watching his movies, and
Yeah, and it shows in the movie, man. He pulled it off.
he really did obsess over trying to get that nailed right because he was like, I do not want to incur the wrath of him if I get
God,
him
no.
wrong.
And who
I think
was
that's kind of what you have to do if you're going to emulate somebody else, whether it's an actor or a role or whatever. You kind of gotta immerse yourself.
Well, going back to Jim Carrey, I was listening to a podcast with Jerry the King Lawler where they had done the Man in the Moon movie, where he was playing where Jim was playing Andy Kaufman, and of course he had that run-in with Jerry Lawler on David Letterman was one of the top 10 moments of TV history, but Jim was under the impression that Andy actually disliked Jerry a whole lot, and they were actually friends, so he would just treat him badly and be in character the whole time. Like, he was not allowing anybody to address him as anything but Andy. He was totally immersed in the
It was
character.
a method acting.
Yeah, straight, like, don't talk to me unless you call me Andy and all this shit. And, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I've actually heard that rumor before. It's a celebrity rumor that Andy Kaufman really didn't die, that he went completely underground.
Oh,
and
everyone's still saying that.
shows up every once in a while as that lounge singer that he used to
Tony
do.
Clifton.
Tony Clifton. And sometimes it's, this actor, but sometimes it's actually Andy Kaufman. But it's bullshit. But I love those celebrity,
Tupac's
what if
on an
stories. Like I saw a video 2 days after Michael Jackson's funeral of someone saying that they caught him leaving a van in an underground garage the day of the funeral, rushing off to the airport to some palace
Here's
that he
the
had
thing.
bought.
I believe I read on Facebook that his ghost raped a mother. And it was on Facebook, so it's got to be true,
That's
right?
gotta be true.
Yeah.
That definitely happened.
It's not true because he raped his mother. It would have been the kid.
Too soon.
Not soon enough.
Oh.
I
Premature?
like to push envelopes
Here's
off
the
cliffs.
thing. Like, all right, there's a few people that might be able to get away with that. All right, when you're as famous as Michael fucking Jackson,
Well,
you can't go anywhere. Okay, you can't dig a hole, in Bolivia, and not get recognized by pygmies.
oh,
and shit.
yeah.
That's true.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's like next level famous.
yeah.
There's people who's popular that's been out there for a long time that can get away with a lot of shit. Michael Jackson is so fucking famous. He could kick a door in to anybody's house and sit down and eat dinner, and everybody's like, "Bravo!
Thank you for
Cool.
doing
It's
so.
Michael Jackson.
How the fuck are you, man?
I thought you was dead.
Can
You
I
must
get
be
you
hungry.
something?
Let me get you anything.
Yes.
I mean, that's about as famous as it gets.
You know what? Fuck it. Take the house. I don't even want this thing anymore.
Yeah,
take
and then they'd have a great story. Dude, Michael Jackson come over to my house and ate dinner. He kept the house. It was amazing.
And they'd be proud.
I totally love the fact that he owns my house, man. It was so nice of him to take it.
What celebrity would you guys bring back from the dead for just one more concert?
For a concert?
Yeah, celebrity musician.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Holy shit.
Good answer.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. I want to meet that man. I want to shake his hand. I want to thank him for what he did for music. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
That's awesome.
That's my hero. That's the guy that got me playing guitar.
That's cool.
Dimebag Darrell.
Oh,
That's a good answer
that's
as
a
well.
good answer.
If I'm well, it's
That's
a toss-up. It's a toss-up for me. It's either going to be Dimebag because I never got to hear him play live, or it's going to be Lane Staley because I never got to hear him play live.
Right.
I did get to hear Lane Staley on the Dirt Tour right before they just pretty much quit touring altogether while he was still alive.
Oh, I hate you.
You're going to hate Clay,
Sorry.
too. He's got tickets to go see Guns N' Roses and Alice in Chains in the same show.
Yes, I do.
Now I've seen Alice
With
in
the
Chains.
new singer.
Right, but still, it's Guns N'
Acquired
Roses.
them yesterday.
Guns N' Roses. I
All right,
really
now,
want
I
to see
like
Guns
playing
N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses. I'm not really a big fan of them.
Well, I mean, yeah, but to see them live would be something to say.
I'm
if they
very,
did it.
very
Yeah.
thankful.
It's true.
I'm looking
Well,
forward to
me
it.
and you already talked about it once before. I mean, you kind of already know how I feel about it. Like, if I had the tickets, I would absolutely go. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think I'd go out of my way for it because
Right.
I'm not expecting a great performance. However, that one video that's come out
Of them in the
since
Troubadour.
yes, I was actually impressed because that was the first time I've heard Axl Rose sing, and he sounded like the new Axl Rose, but he was actually able to keep his breath through the hard parts of the song.
Not the fat Axl Rose.
Not the fat Axl Wheezy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get
Sure.
through this Axl Rose.
Well, a few years ago when they released Chinese Democracy finally, I got it. And I listened to it, and I loved it. My problem with it was the name on the album, Guns N' Roses.
Right.
If it had been called anything else, people would have been praising that album because it's really heavy, it's really good, tons of great musicians on it. Buckethead was the guitar player for them at the time,
Right.
before they got
And that
DJ
guy's
Ashba.
fucking nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
He's all right.
Yeah.
I actually, for the last few years, I continued being a fan of Guns N' Roses. Like, I would have loved to have gone and seen them the few times they came. I would have loved to have gone and seen them the few times they came to Nashville, like with a new lineup.
Yeah.
Just timing didn't work out right. But this, with them getting back together it's not the whole original lineup. They're keeping their current drummer and their current rhythm guitar player.
Well, yeah, but who cared about those guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Who cared
I
about
don't know. I
those
love
guys?
Izzy Stradlin
Axl
and
slash
Adler,
Duff.
but
That's all you need.
but Dizzy Reed
I
is
would have
still
liked
their
to see
piano
Izzy
player.
come back. I liked Izzy.
I mean, outside of that, you could literally plug and play any of the rest of them. But as long as you got those three,
Yeah.
it's Guns N' Roses.
It's gonna be special because Slash is playing guitar. I mean, they've got great guitar players that had come in there before and played his parts, and it was cool. But something about Slash hitting those notes.
I heard he wasn't real. I heard he was one of our parents. Wunderslash.
Go watch that episode if you haven't.
See, did
South
you guys
Park.
hear about Axl breaking his foot though?
no.
Very first night of the tour, Axl Rose broke his foot, and people started freaking out, thinking that he was going to be Axl and cancel the tour.
Is he Dave Grohl in it?
Enter Dave Grohl, the savior of rock and roll, I call him, who says, no,
Absolutely.
man, there's no reason to cancel your tour. I broke my whole fucking leg on tour, and I just made my own Game of Thrones style throne out of guitars and amps, and he gave it to Axl Rose. So now Guns N' Roses is touring because Dave Grohl gave him his broken leg throne.
That is just the fucking nicest thing to do.
Because
Hey,
he's the
Slash, you
nicest
broke
guy
your
in
foot.
rock.
Have my guitar thrown.
Yeah.
Keep playing your show because you're a badass.
There you go.
People want to
That's-
see this.
I want to see. Please keep your foot broken. Just keep it broken for the rest
See,
of the
now,
tour.
if that's just not a testament to how badass Dave Grohl is, I don't know.
Right.
what is.
Amen.
Yep.
Well, you know what's great about it is this way you're guaranteed that Axl's not going to throw a fit and storm off stage. I mean, it's going to take at least two guys to help him storm off stage now.
If you guys could make any three-piece supergroup out of any musician, oh yeah, I'm getting deep now.
Oh,
this came to me
wow.
while we were talking about that. What would you pick?
See, now, for me, you're going to have to break that down to genres because that is too broad.
No,
I
you
can't
can
pick any.
you can literally pick any musician you want
Yeah.
of any genre. It could be Corey Taylor with Dizzy Gillespie, and
Got to be a three-piece.
whatever, 4-piece, 3-piece, whatever. I was just keeping it Rush. But you can do up to 4, I guess. There's no rules here.
I would really like to see just an amalgamation of all my favorite bands. Like I like Dave Grohl to be the drummer,
Yeah.
just because he's amazing drummer,
Yeah.
amazing everything. Was
Yeah.
it guitar, songwriter, singer? Dave Grohl needs to be in that band. I'd like Nikki Sixx to play bass because I think he's an underrated bass player, but he's an excellent songwriter.
Right?
I'm not mad about that.
I'm not either. I'm down with all this so far.
I got mine, man.
Okay.
Kurt Cobain, John Lennon, John Bonham, and Les Claypool.
That's a good lineup.
What would the name of that band be?
Oh, there's no fucking telling,
God
but it would be
damn.
super awesome. That would be the name. Super awesome. Here you go. We're super awesome. Buy our new album.
Yeah, I think mine would definitely have to be. You guys are gonna laugh, but yeah, Dave Grohl on drums, Nikki Sixx on bass, and Billy Joe Armstrong on lead guitar, on vocals and rhythm guitar.
Okay.
Just because I love Green Day, I do. I'm not ashamed to say it. I love the attitude. I love the songwriting. I think if those three guys who all write different styles together, Dave Grohl, Nikki Sixx, and Billy Joe,
I
all
would
got
listen to what
together
they
and
put
started
out.
writing
So that's
together.
why we cover
I
three
would-
Green Day
I
songs.
would love to see
Now
what
it
would
makes
come out of
sense.
that.
That would be a pretty cool super group, actually.
Okay,
would be.
I'm guessing that you've got something.
No,
since you proposed
no,
the
I just
question.
wanted to hear what everybody else had to say,
They
honestly.
could call it Green Motley Fighters.
That's a good name. That's a good name. Totally
Okay, all right.
original.
Well, if I'm going to throw something out there,
Okay, go for it.
let's say on drums, Ginger Baker,
That's excellent
Yeah.
choice.
just to make this the most interesting group I can possibly think of. And if it's alive or dead, then we're going to put Dimebag on guitar and then Lane Staley singing.
Okay.
If I can interchange and my super group, I'd like to add one more member.
Yeah.
Definitely put Ace Frehley on lead guitar. So it'd be Dave Grohl drums, Nikki Sixx bass, Billy Joe Armstrong and rhythm and lead vocals, and then Ace Frehley on lead guitar.
Yeah, I'd have to have Mike Patton in mind
Ooh.
as well.
Ooh.
Throw some Patton in there.
Ooh, now that's a super group.
I doubt they could all get along though. I mean,
I'd like to see them all
Cobain,
celebrity
Lennon,
deathmatch.
and Patton.
That was a great show.
There's no way.
Who's singing there?
All of them.
All of them. Who doesn't sing there? Yeah.
Even Les is in there singing backup.
I think if John Lennon wouldn't have been killed and could have lived to today, I think he would love a lot of those artists that he just mentioned off.
Yeah.
I hate to sound cocky, but in the Ostrich Primer, we cover all kinds of songs, but we do a version of Helter Skelter that I honestly believe that if Paul McCartney or Ringo Starr or even John Lennon back in the day, if anyone heard him, I believe they'd like it.
It's our heaviest song that we do, and it's a Beatles cover.
And
George
also,
Harrison clearly wouldn't like it though, because that was the one he didn't mention.
people
Right.
went nuts. Like we play it at shows. All the people who want to, they think we're just playing a Beatles cover. We start getting into it. They go crazy, and it's literally the heaviest, most balls out song we do.
I don't
It's
think
the
I've
one
ever
we
heard you
save
guys-
for the end, so
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard you guys play Helter Skelter.
There is one Beatles song that I've always wanted to cover in a very heavy fashion. It's called Marshall Silverhammer.
yes.
Yeah.
Maxwell
that song.
Silverhammer.
Okay, that is like the darkest song they've ever written. That
Off
is
Abbey
just
Road.
dude. That is heavy metal lyrics, just
Oh, yeah.
screaming. But is the happiest song.
Paul McCartney
Bang,
will write
bang,
the darkest
Maxwell
shit happy.
Silverhammer. Yeah, it's all about a serial killer. Mm-hmm. But it's so happy. It's such a happy song.
It is a very creepily happy song.
If you don't pay attention to what the lyrics are, you're just humming along thinking it's nice. I was playing it at work one day, and my mother-in-law happened to work with me at the time, and she was like, "Oh, the Beatles." She's like, "Oh, this is a nice song." And I was like, "This is about a guy that goes around bashing people's skulls in with a hammer, right?" She's like, "No, it's not. The Beatles wouldn't do that."
Oh, yes, they would.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that was my big Beatles song there for a long time. Of course, everybody likes some Beatles songs.
Yeah.
Speaking of Beatles, like
I have
recently,
a Beatles tattoo.
have you guys
Really?
have you guys caught wind of? I don't know how to say his name because I'm not up with current stuff, but Tyga, Tyga.
Yeah, it's Tyga.
Yeah.
All right, have you caught wind of that?
Yes.
All right,
What is
so
this? I don't know
I think it was
anything about
after the Oscars or some big award ceremony of some
Oh, is
sort.
that the guy that barred him from the
Yes.
after party?
Like he was trying to. Paul McCartney was trying to get into Tyga's after party,
Uh-huh.
and he got turned away.
But it wasn't just Paul McCartney.
It was
Paul McCartney, Taylor Hawkins from the Foo Fighters, and Beck.
Who the fuck doesn't let those guys in?
They all show up to
If
the
Sir
party.
Paul McCartney
Now-
wants in your house, you let Sir Paul McCartney in your place, man.
Yeah, you don't say no. Now, Beck, we don't have any heroin here, so
The
I don't
guy
know if
up
you're going to be
front-
comfortable.
The guy up front literally told him, "You're not on the list. You're not getting in." And Paul McCartney said back to him, he goes, "How much fucking bigger do you have to be than Paul McCartney?"
Right? I mean, but really, though.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, normally
That's not even
I kind of shit on
egotistical.
people for being like, "Hey, I'm important," but fucking Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Sir
not-
Paul McCartney.
Yeah, it's not even that he's a celebrity. It's all the thing. Could you imagine a world that if we didn't have Paul McCartney?
No.
Music?
I honestly can say,
They're one of our biggest influences.
I can honestly say he's probably my absolute biggest influence.
See, we weren't going to talk about influences, and there they go. There they are.
They're
Can't
the
help
gay.
it.
There they gay.
Can't
We're
help
super
it.
gay for the Beatles.
Yes, we are. I have a John
We
Lennon
wasn't going to
tattoo.
suck cock, but well, here it is.
Semen.
I knew it'd make it in here
When I-
somewhere.
When I saw Paul McCartney in concert, it changed my fucking life, dude.
Did you see him at Bonnaroo or?
No, I saw him the very, very, very first time he played in Nashville in 2010.
Oh, nice.
It was kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
Oh, well, no, the way I'm building up is my dad. When I was growing up, my dad was a huge, huge Beatles fan, but an even bigger Paul McCartney fan. And he had saw him with Wings in Chicago in the 70s, the
that'd
first
be cool.
tour he did after the Beatles. And my whole life, that's all I ever heard was about this concert that he saw. He saw thousands of others, but this one Paul McCartney concert he kept going on about. Well, when my old man died, of course, we played Beatles music and stuff at the funeral. Not 6 months later, Paul McCartney announces he's going to play Nashville for the first time ever. He's vacationed here. He's come here. He's never put on a big concert. And I just so happened to get lucky enough to get tickets. And it was kind of cool. You know,
I
it's
wish I
like
coulda
sharing
went to
something
that,
with the
man.
old man. What's the word? Posthumously, or what's that word? After he died. We still.
Right.
But when Paul McCartney came out, there wasn't even an opening act. Paul McCartney comes on stage and just plays 3.5 hours of the best, Beatles and solo stuff he's ever had. And he played it better and rocked harder than a lot of new bands that I've paid to see in concert as well. It shamed me.
Part of the old guard that is slowly being phased out of legit musicians.
But he still
Yes.
rocks, though, man. He wasn't just performing. They were rocking. His band was kicking ass.
Well, he's still part of the era of you didn't get famous for the sake of being famous. You got famous because you was that good.
Yeah.
And he's literally part of the end of that. Like I think it might have stretched into the 80s and maybe just a touch in the 90s, but whenever you get much beyond that, I mean, people are famous for the sake of being famous, and virtually none of it has anything to do with talent.
I don't think
lot
there's
of it
been
anyway.
serious talent since the grunge movement.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Are you
even
talking
that's
about in just
debatable.
rock music?
There's been good stuff that come out in rock music, but there hasn't been anybody that has caused a revolution like Nirvana did, and then caused
Sure.
a whole bunch of bands to open the doors for them. There has been new styles come and go, new metal and new styles in pop and everything else, but there
I'm pretty
hasn't been
much
a
stuck
band
in
that's
the
come out in a
90s.
while
Yeah.
that's grabbed everybody's attention and made them take notice. That's all. There
well, the
hasn't
90s
been-
was the last time you could be a four-piece band and have a legit shot at doing anything.
Yeah.
On a big scale. Just out of merit. I mean,
That's what we need. We need bands that's going to be exciting, like fall out of the cookie cutter mold. I think every country, pop, and every kind of music you turn on the radio right now is all cookie cutter. They're all the same.
It is pretty
You
much.
can't tell them
they're
apart.
they're all starting to hum on the same frequency.
Exactly.
That's the problem with it. I kind of seen it coming in like the early 2000s, so I kind of started slowly backing away from pop culture.
No.
To me, it seemed like the 90s was the last great hurrah of you could turn the radio on and hear a good song from a good musician,
And it sounds completely different from the next artist you're going to hear.
and then that'd be different from the last one you heard before that, and then it just got super homogenized.
Yeah.
Whenever you get into the mid to late 90s, it starts getting homogenized. But as soon as you get into like by 2005, you have Nickelback in every Nickelback clone ever.
Yes.
I liked Nickelback when they first came out. I've even seen them in concert a few times, and they were really good.
They make me
But
angry because
then-
they write stuff that's so catchy, and I find myself singing along with it before I can stop myself, and then I'm like, oh, I feel dirty. Nickelback, you got me again.
Damn it.
Oh,
They the quality of their songs are not bad because they're so overpolished, but they're well written, if you will. But it's not anything I want to hear.
Have you ever seen them talk about
them?
Yeah. Have you ever seen Nickelback talk about their own fan hatred?
Mm-mm.
All right, because you basically got two people in the world: people who like Nickelback and people who fucking hate Nickelback. There's nobody in between.
Right.
All right, it's a black or white kind of thing.
Right.
Everybody knows who Nickelback is.
Yeah.
All right, and you're side with one camp or the other.
Yeah.
Who knows who Nickelback is?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody.
So, I was reading these articles about how they was kind of acknowledging it, and I'll give them this: if you're the most hated band in the world, which Nickelback clearly is, at this point, like I would say that it would have been ICP until Nickelback was a thing.
Oh yeah.
ICP used that to their advantage, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, they'll still say that they're the most hated band in the world. And to some degree, they may be correct. But I would say the most accurate answer is Nickelback. Because
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because you don't see the gathering of the Nickelback.
No.
Thank God.
No. The people would, wear masks and hide their face in that place.
I heard Nickelback
They have a
was
sense of humor about it, though.
Yeah, they really do have a good sense of humor about it. Because there's even people posting on, Facebook. And they would tag Nickelback God damn it, Nickelback, you're the one that fucked up my day again.
Of course,
you,
they're counting their
Nickelback.
millions of dollars while they're laughing. They're like, yeah, you can hate us all you want.
Right. I mean, they are
I'm
well
going to
paid.
go wipe with a $1,000 bill.
I heard that they were slated for Ozfest this year. Ozfest
No.
2016
No.
with Godsmack and Nickelback.
That can't be true.
I got to do some fact checking,
You
but
know
I've
what?
actually seen that several times.
That was
now.
that was April Fool's. I'll just let you know.
Well,
And
see,
here's what I
there's
thought
been some
was the
bad
funniest part
choices on
about
Ozfest before, though, so
Well,
it's
yeah.
not out of the realm of possibility.
it. Here's what I thought was the funniest. If you go back and read the comment section on it, virtually nobody talks about how bullshit it is that Nickelback's on it, but everybody had something to say about how Godsmack does not deserve to be there. Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
Really?
Well, see,
Godsmack
Out of those two?
between the two of them, Godsmack is the problem.
Well, see, in the last,
Wow.
when Ozfest was still kicking strong, in Europe, they used to have other bands like Motley Crue had been on Ozfest for a long time in Europe,
That
and
even
that's
kind
kind
of
of cool.
still makes sense because it's in the sort of the same era.
Well,
though.
they're
Right.
hard rock.
Yeah, but they're not metal, but they were considered metal at that time.
Yeah, they was.
Yeah,
It was
so, I
fairly
mean-
heave at the time.
Yeah, so
I mean,
that's
they was
not
very
out of,
popular.
But I
at
have
the
seen
time,
some weird bands on Ozfest before. Not all of them have been great. Some of them's been weird.
Did I miss something? Did
None of them's been
what did
Nickelback, though, thank God.
What did Godsmack do?
I like Godsmack.
I do too. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but I like them enough. What
You've
did,
never seen him live, have you?
Oh, I have.
I've seen a couple. I've not seen him live. I've seen a couple of their DVDs. So
They're
I'm
great
assuming
live.
that they've been re-recorded.
I have to disagree. I think they're great live.
I've seen them. I've seen Godsmack live 5 times. None of them was because I specifically sought out. They was just on the same bill, and all 5 times, terrible, absolutely horrendous. With just some parts was better than others.
I have 2 questions for you guys, just completely different off the subject. I'm just curious from everybody in the room because I never get a group.
I
What was
usually
the-
hang it to the left.
Of all the concerts you've been to, has they ever seen a special guest come out at a concert before, or do a surprise performance? What was your favorite?
Neil Shant.
Nice. I remember that
Yeah.
one. G3.
You were there. You
Yeah,
were there.
G303 in Nashville.
They almost stole your girlfriend on the tour bus.
Yes, they did.
I still tell that story to this day.
Yes,
still-
Patrick Johansson, the drummer for Yngwie Malmsteen, damn near took off with my girlfriend.
Nice.
He wouldn't let her go on the bus. I was like, Clay, let her go on the bus. Just let her. I'm not letting her go on the bus.
No, you don't
That's
let your
stupid.
girlfriend go on the
Or-
bus.
Oh no, fuck that. Go on the bus. Tell me the story when you get back. I'm not even mad at you. Go on the bus.
Brush your teeth, take a shower.
Yeah, just let me know what happened. I'm not even mad. Now, I respect your decision, but I would have let her go. Just get on that bus and let me know what happened. See if I can get on with you. I'll hold the camera. I don't care.
I'm just saying that that's a better story. And do you still have that girlfriend?
No.
See?
Should have let her get on the bus.
Actually, my fiance
yeah.
now, side story, my fiance now gave up a chance to meet Kiss because it wouldn't have been the same without me. And
Now
everyone knows me. Knows
Now
how I
that's
love-
different.
Yes,
Yeah, that's huge.
I'm marrying her.
Right. That's huge. That's huge. So that's. But what about you? You have an answer to that?
Yeah, actually I do. I went and seen Stained in Chattanooga, and it wasn't that it was so impressive. The lead singer from 3 Days Grace come out, and their guitarist come out. And here's what the thing that really blew me away is this was the same year that Dimebag Darrell died, and they proceeded to play like 4 or 5 Pantera songs. And this was the only time I've ever heard legitimate professionals play legitimate Pantera songs live at a giant concert arena setting. And they fucking blew away this love.
Nice. That's
Like-
one of my favorite ones.
Jesus
mine too.
Christ, it was done so well. I mean, it took 7 of them to pull it off proper. You know.
Well, it's
Wow.
Dimebag.
Yeah, but I mean, they fucking done it to a T. And then, you know, getting here, Aaron
Lewis.
Lewis do all the vocals for it.
Was that impressive? Like, because I wouldn't imagine him sounding like Phil, really. I would think that was a different type of realm for screaming and whatnot, you know? He's a different type of voice.
The pretty parts sounded prettier, and the heavy parts didn't sound as heavy.
Okay.
I
But
can see
it was
that.
done well, though.
But it was amazing.
Well, now, Aaron Lewis is the king of fucking covers. That guy, he's got a whole tour built around him going around with an acoustic guitar and playing cover songs. He'll sit there, and he'll play a couple songs, and then he'll just wait for you to scream something out, and he'll start playing it.
Have you seen him and Corey Taylor
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
acoustic jams live?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Good stuff, man. Really good stuff.
Dude, their cover of Black by Pearl Jam,
Mm-hmm.
dude, that is haunting.
Right?
Yeah.
How about you, Charlie? What was your favorite guest spot in concert?
When I went to see Twisted, man, and
I knew
Blaze,
that
your
was gonna
dead homie just showed up out of nowhere. He wasn't on the bill. No one was expecting him, and then they just started playing some music, and he walked out on stage.
Nice.
I was with him for that show. That
It
was
was
really
a great
cool.
moment.
So you've been to two
Yeah, I was with
dimension moments.
you at
there.
your moment, and you was. Mine was I saw Lemmy come out and sing with Metallica.
Oh,
once.
man.
that was cool.
I saw Buckethead come out and play with Primus once. And that was pretty cool,
That
too.
would have been awesome.
And Les Claypool had a whole little song he sang right before Buckethead walked out on stage, and he was just kind of a little Buckethead rap. And then Buckethead came out with a KFC bucket on his head.
Fuck it, I'm changing my answer.
When I went to the Rolling Stones this last year, they the opening act was Brad Paisley. And as far as country artists go, he's an amazing
I
guitar
love
player.
Brad
Dude, he
Paisley.
can shred.
And he was great, man. I'd never seen him before, and he was doing a great job. Well, he starts to play Life's Been Good from Joe Walsh, and he starts to sing it, My Maserati, and he stops. He goes, man, that song's too high for me. I can't do that. The crowd starts booing. Out walks Joe Walsh. He goes, I'll sing it.
Nice.
So Joe Walsh played with Brad Paisley,
Right.
and they played Life's Been Good. Later on in the night, when the Stones were playing Roadhouse Blues or something,
thought
out
it
comes
was,
Brad Paisley and Joe Walsh
thought it was
jamming
Honky
with.
Tonk Woman.
So here's members of the Eagles playing the Doors with the Rolling Stones and Brad Paisley. It was pretty cool.
I thought they played Honky Tonk Woman.
Might have been. Were you there at that?
I watched some videos from it. I was supposed to go to it, and I had to work.
It might have been Honky Tonk Woman. I can't remember. It was a good show though.
Yeah, I'm changing my answer. My favorite guest appearance of a show was FOA getting to play with Green Jello. It was
Nice.
Yes.
yeah. What now?
That was one of my favorite shows also.
Boom.
Mine too, as well.
And
also,
they were-
kind of.
all of us
Yes.
were included in that one.
Oh, yeah. I've still got the pictures.
Oh,
Yeah, we
man.
was all there. Yeah, somebody recently re-tagged me into some of those.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think it came up like
Well,
the 2 years ago today.
It came up in
We had
my
a bunch of
memory
pictures.
feed, so I tagged Charlie and you,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't
Todd
think.
was
Are
in
you
there,
and I
too.
friends on Facebook?
I don't know. I thought we were.
I thought we were too, but
Pretty sure we are.
Look for me tonight anyway.
All right. Why not? Why not add to the steaming pile of my Facebook? Sure. Sure.
Well, I guess that was a segue, right?
I mean, it can be. We can
'Cause
talk about some green jello.
Well, if there is a common thread between the four of us,
Yeah.
it
Definitely
would be
green Jello.
It would be Bill Manspeaker.
That we're all members of Green Jello.
We are all members of Green.
Did you
Jello.
know that they're putting us in the Guinness Book of World Records?
I heard about that. Yeah. I'm still waiting to get my number.
Yeah, we don't have official numbers. He says we're in the band, but we don't have official numbers.
I think we're in the 600s.
Something like that. It's-
Maybe we're on like the B roster.
Maybe. Well, I don't know. We may not get in the official incantation of it, but still, it's cool to have been part of that.
It is cool
because we knew that we were there. Oh man, that moment.
I got more pictures and videos. I don't need.
Right. I don't have to have a plaque. It'd be cool to get one though. I'm not gonna lie, especially to get your own number.
That would be nice.
If I get a number, I'm gonna get that shit tattooed. I mean, for sure. Because that was a big deal to me.
Has Charlie? Told
You know, I
what-
didn't think that was real. I didn't think that was really going to happen. I thought you know,
Oh, the
because
green
I hadn't
jello
really,
wasn't coming?
yeah, hadn't really met the promoter much yet, and I just thought he might have been blowing smoke like so many people do, you know. Oh
Todd?
yeah, I know these guys. Yeah,
Yeah. He turned out to be an alright guy.
yeah.
Charlie, tell them about when we first met Bill Manspeaker.
Well, we were getting the stage ready and stuff, and then Todd comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, I need you to go run to the Motel 6 and go get Bill."
Now, was this for your guys' stage of whenever you guys played with him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When we all played together there at the
Right.
community center. That's when that happened. But
Yeah.
Clay and I went to go pick him up.
And he was
And-
at a hotel I used to work at, so
Yeah.
I was excited.
The Motel 666.
Yep. And of course, I've been a Green Jello fan since back in serial killer days when it first came out on video only, you know.
Yeah.
And,
The 6-part episode.
oh yeah. So we get there and we knock on the door and Bill Manspeaker opens and he's just in his underwear and me and Clay did the whole Wayne's World thing. We just both got down and we went, "I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy." And he just laughed and yeah, we've been friends since.
That's awesome. Ours was a little more rocky.
Ours
actually.
was very different, but still similar.
Yeah, we. I think Lynn had to go pick him up. Correct? Didn't he get him, or did Todd bring
let
him?
me preface this just
Okay,
a
go
little
for
bit, because whenever we started practicing, like, we was hardcore about it. We wanted to play every song note for note perfect, and we worked so hard to make sure we was getting at it. And I'd look over at Patrick and be like, "Hey, send Bill a message and see if we can figure out what's supposed to be going on in this section."
Yeah.
You know, because Lynn was kind of off and doing his own thing. He would come in and play during certain parts of it, but I mean, he really wasn't that worried about it because he's the lead singer who can play guitar.
Yeah.
All right, so Patrick would send Bill a message and say, "Hey, you know, this part of the song, what key are you trying to play that in?" And you know, he would send a message back to us, and it'd literally just be a picture of an alien.
Yeah. That's
And I would look at Patrick and I was like, "So is that the key of A?"
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know how to decode this. I don't know what he's telling me. And then eventually he messaged me back and he's like, "Listen, we're the worst band in the world. If you play it wrong, you're playing it right." It's like, I don't know how to work with that.
Well, if you're playing it right, you're playing it wrong.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we just scrapped everything.
We kind of got a similar response from him. We sent him a message. We were like, "We typically play like a half a step down. Is that a problem for you, or do you want us to go up to just standard tuning or anything?" And he's like, "I'll just be happy if you're there." It's like, okay, all right then.
Yeah, he didn't. But when we got there, you know, before we got there, I felt like we were good. I felt like we were ready. You know, we were still a little shaky on a couple of songs, and we were just honestly waiting to meet him to figure out what he was doing in these sections. And
Yeah, it was pretty tight
we
before
were
he showed up.
And then we got there, and then for whatever reason, I don't
Shit
know.
the bed.
The nerves and like
100%.
what we were trying to get. Okay, the first meeting that we had with him was also supposed to be the very first show that we were going to play, so we had zero rehearsal, and we were still setting up the PA. There was no crowd there, and Bill hadn't got there yet because was Todd the one that was going to get him? Okay, so and
Was that the one at the county line?
no. That was a good one. The one at county or this one was at the VFW in
McMinnville.
Was it McMinnville?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so, literally, it was in that
No
crowd.
one,
There was
no
one there.
one was there.
The staff was like walking around and it was like, "Well, does your band need anything?" And we were like, "We're busy right now." And so they were like, "Well, you guys are gonna if we don't get anybody here, you're gonna have to shut down." So we were like, "Fuck." You know, this is our first meeting with this guy. So
we couldn't get the sound to work right.
right. We got all the stuff getting ready to set up, and you know, tensions are running high at this time because Lynn was pretty much putting the soundboard and everything together himself while we were getting all of our shit set up, and we were trying to rehearse a little bit, and he's trying to get level set, and it was just a big headache. Well, we finally get everything at least working enough to where we can, you know, get a sound check going, and we literally just start sucking more than we've ever sucked ever in our life, and can't get any of these songs right. And Bill's up there and he's trying to sing with us, and he's just, you know, you can tell he's giving an old college try, and he just walks off.
Yeah, he kept stopping us. No, you know, if we're not playing it good enough for Bill.
Yeah. So then he was like, "All right, let's just take a minute," and he just went into the back in the corner, and we were all just kind of standing there like, "Fuck, we have fucked this up. We have fucked this up, and now we're not going to get to do this." And I knew that we knew how to play the fucking Three Little Pigs because we played that shit a million times. We played that before we were in this band, so I knew we could play that shit. So I was like, I kind of looked at Wayne, and I was like, "Let's get this shit going," because Lynn is off on doing his own thing because he wasn't as integral at this part except for the PA because, you know, he knew that he didn't have a lot of parts in this except for the FOA string of this tour. Because he only played guitar and he had more fun in that banana suit than doing anything. That was where he got his joy.
Yeah.
But we started playing that shit, and Bill got up. He saw him put his phone down. His little bald head poked up, and he picked up his microphone. And he was seeing if it was working, and he ran back up and he started singing it with us, and we were really fucking getting it, and feeling it. And I just look over at Wayne, and he's like, he looks at me and he mouths, he goes, "How cool is this?" And I'm like, "I know,
Nice.
I know." And that was after that, it was all fucking sparklers and rainbows, man.
Yeah, it really took us to have that one particular moment for us to lock in, because if we hadn't had that moment with him, holy shit.
Yeah,
Like, once we got through that one hump where he was like, "All right, guys, not bad,"
yeah.
then everything else just come together.
Oh yeah.
We were killing it. Then he was like, "All right, so let's play the Burrow of the Mountain." So it was nothing.
Good deal. Yeah. If you can get the flagship song down, Three Little Pigs.
I always felt my face like getting hot whenever the bear come out of the mountain.
Yeah.
I knew that was the next song because that was the only song I let off on bass.
Right.
Yeah. I was nervous about that one.
And I was like, oh, if I get the timing wrong on this, and I'd look over at Jason and be like, making this
Yeah.
this gesture of click your sticks together for timing.
Yeah.
And Jason was the worst person to ask for that.
Yeah.
Which
he
was
a
sad because he was our drummer.
He was a great drummer, but he could never do the 4-lead click. If the song was ta 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 ta, he'd go click 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 boom boom ka boom boom ka boom boom ka boom boom ka, and you're like, that doesn't tell me anything.
His count in was the same pace every time. Didn't matter what the beat of the song was.
But the
100% of the
one
time.
thing that we got down more than anything was boom ka boom ka boom boom ka. That was the stitch for every part of that show.
We have Conflaco.
Flocka. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Well, it makes
flacka
sense 'cause-
flacka.
Well, no, flock. It makes sense. So you guys got anything to add before we wrap this big bad boy up?
Not a whole lot.
We are your friendly neighborhood Ostrich Primer.
We'll be out here doing it like we always do, I guess, until I get too old.
Get in touch with us on Facebook.
There you go.
You can look us up on Reverb Nation and CD Baby.
How did they find you on Facebook?
Go to facebook.com/the Ostrich Primer.
Awesome.
All one word.
We also own theostrichprimer.com, but we haven't set anything
So
up
if
yet.
any programmers
But we
out
did
there
buy
can
the
hear our
website.
voices and want to contribute to the band, please.
We're
hit
looking
us
for
up.
a webmaster and someone to build us a site for free.
And if you have access to record labels out there within Sound of Our Voice and feel like signing the band, we are very available.
I mean, at least a little bit.
We'll whore ourselves out to anybody.
Okay, so we done Zombie Strippers on the last episode. Are you guys going to hook us up with another song for this episode?
I didn't
that
bring.
possible?
I didn't bring any. Do you
Yeah, it's
have any
absolutely
more?
possible.
Okay. Well, an agreement's all I need. We can figure it out. As it turns out, I happen to know some of the guys in the band.
Oh, could you get me hooked up with him? I'd like to meet him.
Maybe.
Okay.
We have met before. Yeah, any song you'd like to play, we would.
You know, it'd be
love
cool
to
for
play
you
it.
guys to debut because we can't get it doesn't fit on normal rock radio Smiling Machine.
Smiling Machine?
Oh, I forgot about Smiling Machine. I do say
Yep.
fuck in it, just in one random part. I say
Well,
fuck.
we
we'll play anything.
we like the word fuck around here.
We like to say fuck too in
Fuck
TOP.
yeah.
Well,
We have to
fuck.
give that warning in concert. Like we say fuck a lot here
Yeah.
in TOP.
Especially the more I drink, the more profane I get as the night
The
goes
ladies
on.
love it. It's weird when we
That's
play
when we do the
shows.
porno song and stuff.
When we play shows, as we're we'll drink on stage. We never get belligerent or anything, but we drink as we play, and we're talking to the crowd. And 4 hours deep, you
Get a little
sometimes
drunk.
you get a buzz after a while. When we start cursing or laughing or telling jokes and things, it's always the guys in the crowd that get butthurt. All the girls eat it up. They always have the better sense of humor.
Right.
Dance more, pay more.
course.
It's cool.
Like
All
I
of our
used
fans
to,
are called
I used to
eggheads.
worry about playing Country Bitches live,
Yeah.
but
They love
people
it.
love it. They just love it.
Maybe we should play that one too.
Me and you had a conversation about that many moons ago. And
About Country Bitches?
Yeah, you was talking about having reservations on it, and I'm like, no.
There's a
It's such a sarcastic song, and nobody seems to pick up on the sarcasm. They're just like,
Yes.
"Woo, Metallica!"
Now, see, I won't lie to
So-
you. It's a secret track on our album Phoenix. If you let the album play out, there's 2 secret live tracks at the end.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, Fish Pie and
Country Bitches.
I think are on there.
None of us in the band are happy with them.
No.
Like, actually, we don't tell people
turned
that
out
they're on
bad.
there.
Until now.
Well, I mean,
Now
we
look what
figure
you've
done.
those who have the CD, if they look at the track listing, there's question marks for like 11 and 12 or whatever.
Right.
Most people don't ever mention them or say that, you know, they suck or they're great or whatever. But I really want to re-record Country Bitches.
I think it's just a live song. It's fun to play at a show.
I think we got a
We'll
really
see recording it.
great recording of it. People would love it.
I think we should do it. Let's make some country bitches.
Oh, don't play that version. It really is bad.
It's
You heard it here first.
You know,
Breaking news.
really close to the same time I had that conversation with Charlie here. I had almost the exact same conversation with Culture of Silence.
Stephen Patterson.
Stephen Patterson. I don't know why I
yes.
blanked on that. I never blank on his name.
Both of us were members of that band.
I was.
That's how
talking
Clay
with
and I
Steven.
met, was through Culture of Silence.
Yeah, I was talking with Steven, and he was worried about Dead Motherfucker.
That's a great song.
That is a
That is a good
fantastic
song. I've forgotten about that song.
Yeah, that is a great song.
You're dead, motherfucker.
That
I
was a
just
great.
well,
Well,
he
he
love. Okay, supergroup. Stephen Patterson on vocals in any band. I don't. I've always
He's got a
loved
great voice.
his voice. New Diabolic was my favorite band, and I was really sad when they broke up.
Me too.
I was too.
I was really sad that I wasn't a part of that.
I was
in that band
convinced they were
for
going to
5
make it.
minutes.
I was proud
I
that
thought
DJ
they were
and I
going to make it.
I'm proud that we were a member of like what led into that.
Right.
Right.
And Culture of Silence was also a great band too. Mm-hmm. But he really grew into himself whenever he got into the New Diabolic, and he got to, for whatever reason, I think he wasn't getting a whole lot of creative writing control. And then he didn't really get a whole lot in New Diabolic either, because he had, I don't know if you ever got to hang out with him much when you weren't in the when you were in the band, but his stuff whenever he was on probation, whenever he was on house arrest, and he was just having to sit there and write some of his deep shit, man.
You know, I think I'm almost as proud of being in New Diabolic for 5 minutes as I am for being in Green Jello.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Diabolic was a great band.
Yeah.
I mean, I never got to play out with them, but we did practice in my garage for probably about 3 weeks. I helped them write Sin City, and I was playing bass for them before they hired Brandon as a bass player. He was a guitarist then.
Yeah. Sin City was actually my favorite song that they did. And well, that one and Phobic. I like
Yeah.
Phobic a
That
lot.
was the song that Will was working on, and
Well, Steven and I started a little side project after New Diabolic that I
Yeah.
played bass and sang a little. He played guitar and sang a little.
My brother
and-
Kirkland was the drummer.
Yeah, Kirkland was our drummer.
What was the name of that?
Murderous Mary.
I've never heard of that.
We didn't really do much. We played in his attic for a little bit, and then
Was it good though? You got
it
any
was
good
pretty
stuff?
good. We mostly did Dax Riggs covers.
I love Dax Riggs. Steven was who turned me on to Dax Riggs, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think other than T.O.P. and Culture of Silence, I'm kind of proud to have been in like Severed Tension. I was in that for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Good band. We needed like an all local radio network.
Where we just play old local stuff.
Oh no, just like all local unsigned bands that's been playing around here. Like we could play some of the older stuff, Culture of Silence, Robin Reality, and
Yeah.
Severed Tension and stuff, bands that used to be around. But it'd be cool because
Chick.
like Jick,
I remember
Jick.
Jick,
Yeah, they were a great band.
Yeah.
Soaked in Brine,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Dead Sparrow.
Dead
Fuck
Sparrow.
yeah, Dead
Wow, man,
Sparrow.
you guys are really reaching now.
What?
Yeah, been doing this a minute now. But it'd be cool if, like, if we could, because Cookville has a thriving music scene. There's just no place to play. There's tons of bands that want to do stuff.
Punky
Just
Brewster.
What?
Punky Brewster.
Don't know.
Miss Kitty's Meow Meow Beans.
Wait, seriously? I'm the only one?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Remember Punky Brewster?
I don't.
Yeah, that was Charlie Henry's band.
Oh yeah.
That was his punk band.
Yeah.
Was
I
that
forgot about
before
that.
Buford T.
Uh-huh.
Pusser? What was that? Something like that.
And then Novena.
They were
Novena.
originally
I remember
Even
them
Deeper.
too. Even Deeper?
They,
Yeah.
they was part of the reason why I started getting into music was because of Even Deeper.
Similar Jones was cool. I liked Similar Jones back in the day.
I think the biggest honor I actually had was
Satire.
I was
in Satire too.
Didn't you guys have like a
Yeah.
sumo squad and
Uh-huh.
satire?
no,
feud?
no, no, no.
Cocaine.
Patrick and Joey
Fucking hate that guy.
had issues.
I remember something.
The
about
rest of Joey's band and the rest of Sumo Squad couldn't give two shits less.
Damon was invested a little bit. He helped me a little bit. And
Damon
then he
was a voyeur.
And then he was just like, all right, fuck it, whatever, I don't care anymore. They were accusing us of ripping off Eric Clapton, Cocaine. They thought that we ripped that song off. And
How?
With 1-900 Hot Sumo. Tell me how any of those songs are similar.
All right, those songs, I'm sure it was a million years ago since the last time you heard the song. They're not in the same key. They don't follow even a close pattern or tempo. It couldn't be any closer.
That'd be like saying if Eric Clapton ripped off
I've
Stairway
never-
to Heaven and wrote Wonderful Tonight. What?
I've never listened to that song and thought cocaine.
Right. That's what just fucking. That's
I mean, you
why
might listen to that song and think, I should take more cocaine in because it's not good enough yet.
But, that's why I took the offense was like, first off, I really love Eric Clapton, and I'm offended that you would even say that I would rip him off. And second, can you hear? Because you're a musician, or so you say, and now you're telling me that this is a direct ripoff, but you clearly can't hear it. Clearly.
I think if you're going to accuse somebody of ripping off another artist, you better have a lot to back that up right away, or to
That's-
show.
Well, I'll be honest, that was so dumb and so long ago, it's not even really worth mentioning.
Well, sure. But I was also like 18 or 19 and still very much a serious asshole.
Right.
And that just got under my skin, and I was like, meh.
I'm telling you, the biggest honor that I had musically, at one point, there was a open discussion about me playing guitar for Fat Mandrill.
Yeah.
That was the biggest honor.
Oh, that's cool.
It was very short lived. Holly brought it to me. He kind of mentioned something. He's like, "So what did you think about that?" And I'm like, "Dude, that would be like the coolest thing ever." The only problem is I am not good enough to play in your band.
I was sad when Chris left, but
Yeah,
Nathan was a good fit.
It was
Yeah.
fresh out
Did
of
great.
Chris too. This was within like a month.
I like Nathan being in the band. He's a good guy, good guitar player, fits well in the band.
Yeah, if somebody was going to fill those shoes,
Yeah.
it might as well be Nathan Ridley.
Right behind you, buddy.
Well, guys, we appreciate you all coming out. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. My God, I'm tired today.
Charlie.
Thank you, Clay. Thank you, Charlie. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I slept about 3 hours and then got up, and he was like, "Come on, let's go. They're coming."
Well, this
We got
was a lot of
episodes to
fun. I'd like to do this again sometime.
We will definitely do it again sometime.
Absolutely, we'd love to have
Yay,
you
we
again.
like to do it.
We all like to do it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks for having us.
I'm the fat one.
And I am not. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Squadcast. Head on over to facebook.com/the Squadcast. That's the best way to get in touch with us and interact with us. We have all sorts of things going on. We'll link to fun things that'll brighten up your day, I promise you. Also, all music was provided by the Bit Burner. Make sure to look him up, check him out, and support him if you really like the sound of that music. He's awesome. He's doing us a huge favor. Thanks again. Have a day.
I'm the king of that decision. It's like it's my religion, immersed in the precision of my mistakes. I make the wrongest choices, blame it on the voices. Everybody knows that my lies are fake. A generational crime. It felt right at the time. Have we lost our minds? It felt right at the time. Mistaken implication, my side of situation, corrupted observation of me. lost our